All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to The Nation. We're going to listen in to 105.3 The Fan. They're talking about scenarios of trading Tank Lawrence to the Colts. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Let's listen in to what they have to say, and let me know how you guys feel about everything as we talk about this.
Partake in.
Okay, give me those numbers again.
26,
Okay.
34, and 59, which is one later than your pick at 58.
So that's what the Colts have.
That's what the Colts have.
And what is he suggesting they would trade all three of those picks?
That's where we're going to get to. Here's where we get a little closer down the trade here. This is what the Colts would be offering here.
Do we take 26 and 59 and just go with it, or do we take 26 and try and get 34 out of these guys, or do we just look at 34 and 59, trying to send him to a place where I know the defensive coordinator knows the player well?
Also, because you have a team with a lot of cap room.
Right.
You have a team with a general manager who is not afraid to think outside the box.
That's exactly
who is
right.
not afraid to take chances.
That's exactly right.
And you have a team with the Colts that has multiple picks in the first two rounds.
All right. So again, 26, 34, and 59.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you start to look at it, it's just 2 second rounders and a first, but they went into some of the details of the Khalil Mack trade and what they were able to get back, and they basically came to the conclusion probably not going to get as much as you got back for Mack, but you could still try to get some inventory here if you wanted to trade Tank Lawrence. The next cut, they're negotiating the deal here.
Colts want to offer me 26 and 59. Do I need to fight for that 34? Because if I get 26 and 59...
Yeah. So if you can't get 26 and 34 for Mac, it's unrealistic for me to think you could get that for Tank.
You know, it doesn't matter. If you want to use the Mac deal as a kind of a starting point, that's great. But I think you have to try to get a third pick. Maybe it's a third rounder next year.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to try and get that third pick. But if it's going to be 26 and 59, then you try to get that third pick.
Okay. So you would, if that trade went by, you would have 26, 58, your own, 59, and then a third round pick next year or whatever. So when you guys do that, would you guys do that for Tank?
So there's
Can I throw something else out there?
I'm curious.
Throw it out there.
I want to know this. Would you rather have 26, 58, and 59, or just 26 and 34?
And give them 58?
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
In other words, you trade them D-Law and 59
And 58.
and 58, and you get 26 and 34.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I would try to get done.
I guess you wouldn't have to. No, I think so. Wouldn't you just leave that alone though? 58 and 59 are just gonna switch either way.
No, they would have
get
both. You would get 34. So now you get two of the top 34.
And then if they need to throw in next year's third round pick to balance it out, whatever.
Yeah, I'd rather have
Talking about
that.
the Colts.
But I don't think they would do that.
No.
Really?
But if they would, that's fine. And that's part of this whole discussion is throwing out those ideas.
I think they would consider that.
Well, maybe I'm opposed to it because I know how this goes, and that's not how it went down.
Okay.
And I don't want to confuse everyone.
Okay.
But like what you're saying, yeah, okay, I get that. And teams love having back-to-back picks.
Yes.
It's a thing of like they like having the last pick in a round, and they'll trade up to be the first pick on day 2 or day 3. They love that type of thing.
Right.
So again, this is the guys on the draft show discussing trade scenarios for DeMarcus Lawrence. It would send him to the Colts, who have picked 26, 34, and 59. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and say the trade goes through, okay? You get pick 26, you get pick 59, you'll get something back next year, whatever. Then Broadus takes it a step further.
Then we could parlay 26, 58 our own, and 59, and that'll get you in the top 10. All right, Dane, I'm trusting you now because you're my director. Can I get, and you've always told me this, and you're absolutely right. I'm not trading for a position, I'm trading for a player. At 10, if I could pull this trade off, can I get a player that can help me at defensive end this year?
Okay, so it will get you to 9 or 10 if you went by the trade value. So if the trade happened, you would have pick 26, pick 58, pick 59, and Tank goes to the Colts. All right, 58 being your own. So you got a first and second back from the Colts for Tank, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, you traded
this
away
is
to
where
move all the way up
we're
front.
jumping into the top 10 now, and it sounds crazy, okay?
It does. It is crazy.
I'm still going, okay, this is fantasy land. This is nothing, right?
Yes, it is.
We're going to go here. Dane gives out a couple names, a couple guys who might be in play in that area, okay? And again, I want you to remember this thing is rising. It's rising to a shocking conclusion here, okay? Just a couple guys right here.
Are we about to get Nick Bosa?
No, just a couple guys, though. Not that.
I think that you can probably get Brian Burns, flexible, bendy edge rusher, a lot of athleticism.
Okay.
You're gonna have some hiccups versus the run.
Florida State.
Yes.
I'm giving up a guy that can play the run.
Yeah.
And I'm giving up a guy that can rush the pass.
You're giving up a guy that can do everything.
Right. You're giving
If
him a guy
you're
that can
trading
do
up to
everything.
number
Yeah.
10, I think the two pass rushers you're looking at are
not close to
Burns
D.
and
Right.
Cleveland Farrell from Clemson.
Okay.
Okay, Burns, to me, of the top 20 guys, that is the biggest bust potential in this entire draft.
Oh.
I don't like Burns.
Cowboys won him.
I don't like a guy who can't play the run.
Okay.
And Brian Burns does not do that well.
Okay.
To me, Brian Burns, I mean, he's got high sack upside, but man, that is, he makes me nervous. Cleveland Farrell's awesome of Clemson. If that happened, I think we'd be like, oh my God, that's great.
Yeah,
okay?
give me what is his specialty?
Just everything. He's a good run player, and he's a pass rusher.
He's
He's
a
a
tank.
defensive end. He's probably a better Tank coming out of college.
Right.
To be honest.
Just on a rookie deal.
Okay, so we go to the final clip here. Broadus throws out a name. Well, maybe if it's not those guys, is it this guy? And I want
Who
you to
is
listen
it?
to the cadence of our own Dane Brugler. I want you to listen to how he says it. I want you to listen to Broadus and David Hellman's reaction, and then listen to what Dane says after that. Because to me, alarms started going off in my head. Okay, I started going, what? Okay, so listen to this. And if you guys don't know the player, I can tell you about him after it happens. But listen to how this all plays out.
I trade for Hawkinson. Is he's my guy?
I go in a different direction.
Okay, who do you got?
I think that this team would love to add Ed Oliver to the defensive line.
Stop it, Jimmy. Stop it. Ed Oliver's a defensive tackle of Houston.
Big
I want you to listen, and we'll start it over. Listen to how Dane said it. Okay. Ed Oliver was mocked top 3 all year long. Got to the season, he missed a couple games. Got into it on the sideline with Major Applewhite because
I remember that.
It turns out Major Applewhite's kind of a D-bag.
Was this over wearing a stupid coat?
Yes, it was not a big deal.
God.
And Ed Oliver's like, okay, man, I just want to get to the draft, dude. Like Ed Oliver, I think the latest. I mean, Dane had him mocked 14, I think, in one of his latest or top 14 overall, whatever. But Ed Oliver, I think what you see with Ed Oliver as you go is this guy Aaron Donald. This guy might have some Aaron Donald in him.
Really?
He's 6'1", he's 290.
290.
He's going to play inside, okay?
Motor.
And it changes everything on the defensive end, but I want you to listen to how Dane says this. Listen to their reaction. I want you going into
This
this
is
season,
just
Ed Oliver,
fantasy land now.
by a lot of
This is
people,
no-
was seen with
no
Nick
breaking
Bosa as the
news.
best player in the world in this draft class. All right? But listen again, because it goes on a little further, and Dane gives you a little more information.
I trade for Hawkinson. Is he's my guy?
I go in a different direction.
Okay, who do you got?
I think that this team would love to add Ed Oliver to the defensive line.
Ooh.
I think he would be the perfect Rod Marinelli
Okay.
3
They
technique.
getting all
That
giddy over there.
put a smile on my face.
There you get your interior pressure. I mean, you're losing outside pressure on the edges.
Okay, at 10, I can get him for sure, right?
Not for sure, but probably.
Wait,
Why am
are you scared now?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
All right.
I'm intrigued by what he just said.
I am too.
But
Maybe I was told this,
Yeah.
but I think this team really likes Ed Oliver. Oh. And if they have a chance to get him, you're gonna have to do some patchwork.
Dang, yeah,
your
dang,
ends are
maybe
gonna be
you're speaking
Dorrance
too much.
Armstrong and
Crawford.
Crawford.
Yeah, Gregory will be there.
I mean, maybe you sign Deion Jordan.
Deion Jordan.
All right. There it is.
Dude,
I know it wasn't Michael Jordan. I know I didn't tell you they're getting
Deion.
No, I know.
Lawrence Taylor. I know,
It's
I know.
realistic. It's realistic. But I'm so in on.
Is the root.
Because I
ceiling
think one of the
is
things
the
that's
roof.
lost on all
Right.
this is the run defense might have been a little bit of a mirage, and if you they
Because
got
a lot of teams don't
over
run.
by the
Yeah, you're right.
Rams. If you got a guy that can just stop all that crap, it's gonna make your ends better.
I just looked at after his name come up, I was sitting here looking at his highlights. He does look like a human muscle. He looks like Aaron Donald. Like he's not built like a tackle.
Y'all look
He's
up
big,
Ed
but
Oliver.
he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got a low degree, maybe one of the lowest degrees of body fat for a defensive tackle in the NFL the day he arrives. That's pretty interesting. But as a person who loves draft picks. You would give up 26, 58, and 59
Hell
for
no,
one player?
I would draft 26, 58, and 59. I need as many minimum wage guys as I can get. That's what I would do. And I would get Irv Smith, the tight end from Alabama, at 26, or a defensive tackle if he fell to me. At 58, I would get my safety and wide receiver all knocked out. Like, I'd have it all covered heading into day 3. That's what I would do. But the idea of going up and getting Ed Oliver, you can do a lot of things with Ed Oliver. You can play him at the 1 on 3rd down, pushing Tyrone Crawford inside. This is where this league's going now. Pressure on the inside, pressure on the outside doesn't matter. Just give me the pressure wherever it's at.
Right.
Ed Oliver is really good. He's really good. And if you're not going to do the deal for Tank, you got to take the hit this year or whatever when you make the trade. But it also frees up your ability to go and comfortably get done. Okay, we can get Cooper done. We can get Dak done. We can get Zeke. It doesn't matter. If you want to go get Earl or whatever, I know that's kind of timeline for that is now, But, like, it allows you to go do some other things that you feel like you're kind of squeezed in right now. It allows you to have a little room to go play.
What is the timetable here for all this? Like, if this is going to happen, when does it happen?
Well, is the draft in April or May this year?
Happen.
The draft is in April, late April.
So
the Colts are going to go, dude, I need you to have that surgery.
Yeah, the trade with the Colts would happen in the next couple weeks. The trade to jump up to do it would happen on draft day because you would have to make sure that player's there as the draft unfolds.
Of course.
So step 1 would happen in the next couple weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. The trade of DeMarcus Lawrence, when would that happen?
Because keep in mind, Ben, you mentioned the Colts have the most cap room. So they're not only is it we're talking about Eberflus here, we're talking about a team that can spend the money in the first place.
Okay, but the way Dane said that, would they trade a 1 and like this year's 1 and something else to get up there? Would they, you know what I'm saying? Future picks.
Oh, and then keep 59 or whatever?
Keep 58 or whatever.
Yeah.
Keep Tank, to go get Ed Oliver. Because the way he said it, I heard they really like Ed Oliver. Well, you don't just guy. You don't just like a guy who might go in the top 10 or 15 when you don't pick till 58. Yeah, unless you got eyes set. Everyone likes those guys. So the way he said it, they really like Ed Oliver.
So you're saying use your second round pick in next year's first?
He said I might have been told this, and that they would do. Play the cut. Play the second part of that cut. He says they would do anything what it takes to get there. What are they doing?
The last time they did this, it was Mo Claiborne, and it blew up in their face.
Why are they? That's interesting. I mean, to not even have a first round pick and to be in love or even talking about a guy like Ed Oliver is fascinating. Now, just watching a few highlights, I'm like, oh my God, this is a man beast. Okay, they're highlights. Why would he be available there? Because he told Major Applewhite he didn't want to wear a sweatshirt?
He had a knee. There are some teams who don't really know
had
how
some,
it would work.
knee injuries, according to the reg flag, a parameter there. This is the thing. This is all fantasy talk, like fantasy football talk. I don't think that the Cowboys have that type of constraint or non-constraint to go out there and make those type of deals, make those type of sweeping moves of trading a player. And we've been bitten so many times that I think that they would not make that move. They sit on their thumbs. They trust the back end. The back end of Will McClay scouting preview is everything. And also Chris Hall, his ability to find players. Those two guys together, just what I'm thinking. I don't think that they will make any of these things happening. But this is one of the things that I want to point out right here. The Humphreys deal, somewhere in between Humphreys to the Titans. I think he signed like a $28 million, something like that, some crazy number with the Titans. And I think somewhere in between those two guys, between Humphreys and Damon Amendola, is where you're going to look at a Cole Beasley, contract for the following year. So my thing is, he may be gone. He may want Adam Humphries type of salary. That's going to be the other questioning. As far as defensive side of the ball, I think the Cowboys are going to look at it from this aspect of it and say, okay, if we go out there and pay D-Law, let's look up the deal again on Mac's situation. Really appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in to the Nation. Let me see if I can pull up Mac. contract, and we would look at it from this aspect of it. And we already know that with his contract and everything that they got, for those who really want this to happen for the Cowboys, he signed $141 million. That's $141 million. This site says $90 million of that money is guaranteed. Somewhere in between, D-Law is in between Khalil Mack and Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers signed a contract at $16 million, over $16 million a year. And I think out of that money is anywhere from 40 to 55 something million guaranteed. Now, don't look at the production wise of Khalil Mack versus D-Law. Don't look at that, but just look at how D-Law is looking at it from the fact that he's been thinking or feeling that he's been disrespected by the Cowboys, meaning that he at least want upwards of $80 million guaranteed. Cowboys are looking at it like, hey, in order for us to give you $80 million guaranteed, we will at least want you to get your shoulder done. It's a 3 to 4 month rehab with the torn labrum. So they looking at it, okay, we want to get that done first, and then we can fork over some guaranteed money because we won't know. But D-Law looking at it from the aspect of, hey, wait a minute. I put everything on the line last year, and these last 2 years I've been dominant. So I want to get paid Khalil Mack's money. Now, this is the other thing. If you look at Trey Flower, let me see if I can pull this up too, so that we all can look at everything. Pro Football Reference. Right, this is where I get all of my information from. Shout out to Pro Football Reference, and they are a unique and wonderful platform where you can look up any player's information as it relates to contract negotiations or as it relates to like stats and beyond. I'm just gonna put up Mac just for kicks, and let's see, Max. I forgot KH Khalil Mack. Come on, Mac. I keep on having problems spelling this man name. There you go, KHA. I don't know why I be putting the extra letters in this word for some reason. All right, so here's name go right here. So we're gonna get results. Remember, everybody have reasonings. Results are what matter. Contract talk. I'm not even going to put up Aaron Donald's numbers. We already know that there's nobody numbers comparable to Aaron Donald's as it relates to creating pressure into the inside. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother life cycle, right? So as we look at this thing all together, guys, we're going to look at this portion of it. Trey Flowers. 21 sacks. Of course, he started in 2015. 5 forced fumbles, 2 fumble returns, and that's his stat. And then for DeMarcus, of course, we already know he had 34 sacks, 9 forced fumbles, 5 fumble returns, and then we got Khalil, 53 sacks and 15 forced fumbles, 6 fumbles returned. All right, so we already know that his numbers in 2014 beyond, Khalil is always going to be better because he's an outside linebacker, 2 different type of positionings. But if you look at Trey Flowers' situation, all right, is he a guy that's going to give you consistent numbers throughout the year? He had 2015, he didn't do nothing. He didn't even get out there to play a game. But in 2016, he's a decent guy, got you 7 sacks. And 17, he got you 6.5 sacks. And then 2018, he turned around and got you 7.5 sacks. This is a guy that's going to give you anywhere around 7 to maybe 6 to 7 sacks, basically, looking at the numbers alone. They just gave this man over $16 million a year. So D-Law is looking at this right here. But this is the thing, Cowboys. They stretch upon, this is how I was told how they do the contract negotiation. They stretch it out upon amongst 3 years opposed to just 2 years. So if you look at D-Law's situation, you can try to say, hey, I'm going to pay this guy based upon the future. But they looking at it from this aspect. 14-10-1. So that's what they're looking at. And they're looking at a consistent level, and they're having reservations on 2 back surgeries and a blown up shoulder. That's what they're looking at. That's just all it is. And I wish that we can change the philosophy, but that's just how it goes. Amigo Jones, I agree 1,000,000%. They should have signed up D-Law last year and could have got him for 17-19. If they would have signed D-Law last year, he would have got the Trey Flowers deal that Trey Flowers got now. That's what he would have got. He would have got the quote-unquote Trey Flowers deal. He would have got that portion. And that's the reality of it. He would have got Trey Flowers deal if they would have signed him up last year. And let me see I don't know whether or not they would put his contract out already. But let's see. No, they didn't put it up there yet. It's going to be updated soon. I think the official date is Wednesday. So his new contract will be up soon. He would have got this particular deal, a $16 million deal. He would have got Trey Flowers deal. Let me see if I can find it out here. And that would have been D-Law's contract. That would have been his contract, actually, if they were to go ahead and sign him now. Last year, that would have been his contract or what have you. So that's our issue now, and that's just the bottom line with it. We don't have the ability to go back in time. Let me see if they got this contract down. 16 to 17 million. So I guarantee if I'm a betting man, they would probably give him what he had, what D-Law signed for the franchise tag last year. That's probably what's going to happen. Yep, that's probably what's going to happen right there. Let me see what they're talking about now.
I mean, it's like, all right, what do you do? I don't know. What do you offer up there? Here's the reason why this grown man is breastfeeding right now.
It's because you have big jugs.
I find myself when the kids walk in and we're watching something like that, I try to hit pause and go back, but sometimes you end up freeze framing the screen that you're trying to avoid.
Oh, right.
Which is tough, but that's interesting. I haven't tried.
They ain't talking about any contract negotiation. So I got to actually split, man. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in to the nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Let me know whether or not you agree with trading D-Law for a first in a possible third round, or a first in next year's second and a possible third round this year. Let me know. Would you package those things up and see if you can move all the way up to get this guy right here, to get this guy called or named Ed Oliver? Would you do that? Would you do that in the sense of saying to yourself, maybe this guy could be a game changer. Maybe he can help this team out. Maybe he can put things in the different parameters for us. Let me know how you guys feel about that. And then on top of that, this is the moment of time that you actually, believe it or not, Cowboy Nation, you gotta start thinking. You gotta think of all possibilities. You gotta have your phone line and your mind open. When it get down towards this time frame of the year, when you get close to the draft, other GMs, other scouting departments, everybody, when everything is open, they're gonna be calling. They're gonna be saying, okay, how much you will want to give up for this player? Or can we ask to get this player? You see, would you like to release Cole Beasley for us? How much would you be willing to not sign Cole Beasley if you can sign him up for this and you can trade him over to us for this? This is the negotiation period. So you got to outthink and you got to outsmart and outwit your opponent in the opposition. You got to be able to do that. So when they start brainstorming, don't discount what they're thinking. Don't just look at it like, oh man, they keying and laughing it up and it's not funny. No, you got to really do this in order to better your best. Trust me, you got to go over every situation and every scenario. That's just the bottom line. Savage Time said he wants Von Miller. Hey, I would too for a discounted price, right? Let me see who else. Jamal Anderson, appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. Shout out to you all. Who else we have? Amigo Jones, appreciate you for tuning in. Ty Jefferson, thank you for tuning in. 43 Flex, appreciate you. The U in the house, shout out to you all. Ty Jefferson, yes, it's business. You got to keep it that way. But the thing is with the Joneses, Q, what's up, fam? The thing is with the Joneses, they run this operation like a mom and pops, believe it or not. Now, I think that Stephen Jones is a little bit different from Jerry. I think that Steven is a little bit more tight with his wallet, and he's not that cool where the players can come on in and kick it. He's going to be like, dog, why you got your feet on my sofa like that? What we talking about? I got to go. What you trying to talk about right now? That's Stephen Jones. That's his probably persona. That's his personality. Like, man, I got 5 minutes talk. Jerry Jones, although he don't have 5 minutes, you walk in there, Jerry Jones probably be pouring up his his Johnny Walker Blue. He probably say, okay, I'll pour up me a glass of Johnny Walker Blue. Talk to me. I got 5 minutes, but for you, I will stretch it out to 30. Then 30 minutes turns into an hour, and Jerry Jones said, you know what? I got you. Don't worry about it. We'll figure out a way to make this thing happen. Oh, you really want to get into broadcasting? Oh, I got you on that. Or you trying to get into this particular job field? I got you on there. Let me make a phone call right quick. That's Jerry Jones. Yo, man, Golden Tate. That would be nice, man. That would be nice. Dallas been drafting great. We don't need these big name free agents. We homegrown. This is from the U. That's what he's saying. We homegrown. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that, but that philosophy has not been proven yet to win anything. It's cool, though. I like the fact to save money. I save money at any time that I can, too. But that philosophy it has not been proven yet. I think that we can be homegrown, but we don't have to be so focused in on that. I think that with homegrown philosophy is cool, but I still think that you have to go out there and party a little bit with one or two free agencies. Don't go crazy, but just party with 1 or 2 free agencies. Let me know if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.